Hello folks, Lord Reags with you. We're going to play a game called God's Lotto, and it goes like this. Let's suppose this is you and you have no symptoms of the coronavirus, and let's just say it's January 2020, shall we? You're bulletproof, invincible, feeling pretty happy, looking forward to the year ahead. You've got no symptoms. You go to the Elton John concert. You visit a relative. You look at visiting a school to see about your kids, enrolling them for this year. You attend a funeral. You might even go for a back massage because you've got a lower back pain. You have a chat to the neighbour. You go to the library, return some library books. You go to Aldi, do a little bit of shopping. You go to a rugby match. You go to a restaurant. You hop on a cruise for 10 days. Your dog's a bit sick, so you go to the vet. You go to the cricket. You go to the footy. You go to the gym. You go to a 21st. Old relatives has a 60th. You go to the paper shop, buy a paper. Visit a friend. Go to the cinema. Go to a wedding. Go to the club. Go to the beach. The Australian Open's on. Go to the tennis. Go to work. Go to the tab, have a little bet. Go to the Optus shop about your phone. Go to a public toilet. Go for a walk. Watch the soccer. Have a barbecue with some friends. Go to a dance. Play bowls. Buy some petrol. Go to the airport. Visit somebody who's just arriving. Get your hair done. Go on a hot date. Go to the post office, post some letters. Have a coffee with some friends. Go to the ATM, get some cash out. Catch a bus or go to the pub. Go to Domino's Pizza, get some of those nice $5 pizzas on special. Walk down the street. Catch a train. Go to the butcher shop, get some lamb chops. Go for a swim in the pool, it's a bit hot down under. See your doctor about that mole on your back. Go to the shops just to get some fly spray. Get your nails done. You've done that in the month of January and you've seen about 47 people at close range. You've got no symptoms, you're feeling bulletproof, you're invincible. Now, let's see what happens a month later. This is just Australia. The 47 people you've come into contact with in January have all gone off and seen 47 people in the month of February. That's only 11 people a week, about 1.6 persons a day. Nothing wrong with that, is there? You might remember in February people were pretty blasé about this coronavirus, the China flu, the Wuhan flu. Some were even joking about it, hoping certain world leaders might catch it. Let's see what happens in March. We're playing God's Lotto. In March, them, not you, them now, they all see 47 people each. Because it's still pretty laissez-faire. People aren't sure. People are still going to work, going out, driving around, not worried about this coronavirus. It'll never happen here in Australia. It's mainly in Europe and I hear Italy is having a bit of a problem with it, and maybe Spain and maybe United States are starting to pick up some infections. 47 each, 2,209 are now infected. In Australia on the 10th of March, in reality, 100 people were infected. By the 30th of March, 3,000 people were infected here in Australia. That's actual. In Lord Reags' example, this is only 2,209 infected, starting off with just the one person in January, coming into contact with 47 people. Now, let's look at that a little bit closer. Excuse my back. March 31. 2,209 in Lord Reags' example in Australia. But the actual infections were 3,000. And it's that date now. It's March, it's the end of March now. So already we are ahead of the curve. But we're on the wrong side of it. We should be on this side of it. We're on the other side. So that's a bit of a worry. 3,000 people are infected in Australia. Let's see what happens by April 30, according to Lord Reags, with just 47 people being infected per person. With the lockdown, by April 30, Lord Reags' projections are 4,879,681 infections here in Australia by April 30. All from one person in January. Let's see what happens by May 31. Now, we've had the lockdown. End of March, we got all concerned and the government started to do the right thing, finally put things into lockdown. Even though they don't like using the term lockdown, in essence, that's what it is. By May 31, if only 2 people came into contact with each of the infected people, not 47 because of the lockdown, but in a 4-week period, it's distinctly possible that if you're staying at home, you could still infect another person, like a member of your family, a spouse perhaps, or one of your teenage kids. It's 9,759,362. Now, if you were one of those people skylarking on Bondi Beach a few weeks ago, towards the end of March, ignoring what the government was saying, how do you feel now? With just 2 people infected by the other people in March who weren't totally sure that they had it, we now have a situation, May 31 projections, just in Australia, 9,759,362. Let's see what happens in God's Lotto by June 30th. Just in Australia. With just 2 people being infected. God's Lotto, if only 2 people are infected per person in a 4-week period in June, it shoots up to 3 billion. Oh, this is for the whole planet. 3,562,106. What is that? That's a big number. 3,562,167,000 130, all from the one person in January feeling invincible and bulletproof and not even understanding how to pronounce the word coronavirus. This is God's lotto if only 2 people are infected per person in the month of June. Now, my birthday. I turned 60 on July 25. Let's see what happens on my birthday around the world. The population of the world is 7.8 billion. According to Lord Reags' projections, with just 2 people being infected per person in the month of July, there will be 7,124,334,260 people on the planet infected. Game over, because that leaves only 676,000 people on the planet. Now, if 5% of that number die, that's still pretty bad news. So, happy 60th birthday to Lord Reags on July 25, 2020. There's only 676,000 people left for me to invite to Loxton House in Muswellbrook, or down to the Wentworth Hotel in Sydney to sing karaoke with my favourite piano chick, Kylie Stevens. So I hope you're alive by July 25. If you are, come and celebrate Lord Reags' 60th birthday then. And until then, have a wonderful time. Happy coronavirus. Thanks for playing God's Lotto.